Hey guys, today we are making the avatar. Let's see if this works. Oh, it does. Nice. Armature covered in clay. Check. Although not well covered, but still pretty good. Now let's trim this up. So we are making Aang from the original show, Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I apologize for this video being late. I know, it's been a while since I uploaded. It's because this is the first time I'm actually doing a human being with an actual face and painting it at the same time. So this definitely took way longer than expected. There are still a few things that I need to improve, but overall I think that I did a decent job. And hopefully with some more practice I won't take, a month to do this. So we'll see. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I can't promise anything. I really can't. So what we're doing here is we're gonna trim the bottom, remove that clay because his shoes are a different size than his pants. Like his pants are really baggy, and as you can see, I'm removing some clay here because while the pants are baggy, they do have a bit of form, and I did try to add in some wrinkles to make it look semi-realistic. I don't know. I had a reference picture I thought looked really cool, and I figured if I want to get better at sculpting, I'm going to try a human being, and I figured why not start with a cartoon character, and that's what I did here. So here I'm still making his pants. I know it looks messy, but we're going to smooth that all out with rubbing alcohol, which is a really cool trick. If your clay is covered in fingerprints or fine details, take a paintbrush and rubbing alcohol and just use that. You will get rid of it. It'll smooth it out because it's like really fine sandpaper. Now, I didn't know how to do his clothing, especially because, he's wearing simple robes, but it still has folds in it. So I decided to make various strips and then just adjust them and then do some blending. So I don't know how many strips I did in total, but it did take some time because I figured I could do thin sheets and then put in the clay. Well, then put in the wrinkles into the clay, but that didn't really look that great. So I decided to try this method, and I gotta say that it actually turned out pretty well. It turned out better than I expected. So I don't know. I'm just gonna experiment with different methods. This felt right at the time. I like how it turned out. If I do it again, I don't know. But I do know one thing. On human characters, definitely still need practice. And I need practice on like the two basic things that everyone needs practice on. And that's doing the hands and doing the faces. So here, we're gonna trim off some of these strips so they match better together. I know it looks like such a mess right now, but it's gonna look great once we've blended and smoothed all of these edges together. Trust me, it's gonna look great. I was even impressed with the results. So I didn't do pre-cut strips. I mean, I did some of the leftover strips that I had and just added them in and went for it. Now we're gonna have to move this wire arm out of the way so that we can get to it better. It's this whole new dynamic, especially working with armature and making human characters. I mean, you gotta figure out how their body weight is. You gotta figure out the anatomy. You gotta see how it matches. I mean, you can't have one arm larger than the other because that's gonna look awkward unless, the character's supposed to look that way. So there are a lot of factors to take in. But I am extremely proud of this, for this being like the first actual human being. The Fortnite figures do not count because those are not human beings. Tomato Head and Durburger, they are not human beings. They're probably some weird freaky aliens. So anyway, I promise we are almost done with filling in all of these strips. Almost. Maybe. I don't know. I think so. I think so. See, and now we're gonna add some strips onto his pants. How he managed to do that with his robes, I have no idea, but I don't remember because it's been a while since I've watched this show. I mean, if you haven't watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, I suggest you watch it. It's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, cartoon show ever made. So definitely check that out. Definitely do. Alright, so this should almost be done. I think we might have to add another strip of clay, maybe? No, I think that should be all of it. We're just doing some trimming. And then comes the really fun, but somewhat tough part. Let's just trim that because he is wearing a belt and we don't want it to be too bulky beneath that. So this isn't looking too bad. So now let's use this tool. Still no idea what it's called, and even if I did, I'd probably forget about it. Anyway, so we're gonna use this and we're gonna blend everything together. This tool, definitely one of the best. Front, back, and this is gonna take forever. 5 hours later. No, seriously, it did. It took that long. If you're doubting me, this took a long time, but I am very happy with those results. Like, look at the wrinkles. Look at the wrinkles in those clothes. It's not 100% perfect. We still have more work to do, but it's looking good. Now, we're gonna do some folds into his pants. There aren't many. I mean, he's a cartoon character. It's not super detailed. We're not going for super realistic, but we do still want some life in his clothes. You know, because he's still an actual person in that universe. And I've noticed on his pants, there's this other color. Well, it's brown, but there's this other color back here for the monk uniform. I don't remember if the monk uniform was the exact same in Legend of Korra. I think I'm gonna have to rewatch that show. Anyway, let's do some wrinkles. And now we're gonna do his shoes. Although I don't think this is really part of his shoes. I think it's more like a cloth clothing type thing. Because I mean, he doesn't wear boots. He wears small little shoes, and I think these shoes was, when was it? I think it was in like the last season, the 3rd season, when they were undercover at the Fire Nation. So I don't know what the Fire Nation wear. I don't know the names of the uniforms. I don't pay attention to that. I just pay attention to characters, stories, and clothing. So the pants, yeah, the pants, and then the, like, I don't know if it's pants, I don't know if it's just clothing or whatnot, but I think that turned out pretty well. Now here on the arm, it is somewhat of a sleeve that he has going on there. It's part of his yellow uniform. And yeah, so we're gonna create another clothing fold right there. But first we're gonna blend in this edge to make it seem like the fold, the sleeve that we're doing, that it's underneath the main part of his robes. And that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna slowly curve that over, but we're still gonna keep a line. Well, not a line, more of an indent as to where that fold is. And I do hope I didn't make his arm too fat. I don't know. Human anatomy is still a bit tricky for me. But with practice, I think we're definitely gonna nail it down. It'll definitely turn out alright in the end. Just gotta keep practicing. Alright, so that's not looking too bad. Now we're gonna do one more because the sleeve is almost his elbow. So we'll do the same thing that we did above. So does anyone have a favorite character from Avatar: The Last Airbender? I mean, for me personally, it's gotta be a toss-up between Toph, who is just amazing, and Sokka. Those two, hands down, were my favorites. Love them. They were great characters. Now, look at that. The sleeve is almost done. It's not looking too bad. I like it. Yep, now we're gonna smooth it on out to make it look a little less bulky. Well, or a little less rough. Yep, and we'll go over that later with some rubbing alcohol, and that's the hand, which looks great like that. But then as I was working with it and his fingers were curled loosely, I was just like, I don't know, the hand, it's kind of like, it's kind of ugly. But that's okay, I'll practice hands. We'll get there. We'll get there to making beautiful hands. Now here, we're gonna apply his belt. We're gonna have to bend that arm, well, that skeletal bone out of the way. Yes, great. Alright, we're gonna match up so that we make sure we don't give him a gut, because Aang is a skinny little guy until he grows up, and then he's pretty buff, but he's still pretty skinny, so he's very lean. I think that's the word. Now, it's okay if this is gonna look a bit rough because that's gonna be covered up with his other hand. Now here we're gonna mark out the spot where the ends will actually be hanging down. So we're gonna squish that in a bit to make it look like it's tied. I didn't know how to do this, but I think this method actually worked out pretty well. And now we're gonna take a break. A much needed break. Look at the kitty. Look at the kitty. This is Chloe, and she's got a birthday May 29th. She'll be 10 years old. Who would have thought? We adopted her from the animal shelter. And she's very precious. She's also very, very soft. She interrupted my work. I think she wanted to be on camera too, so here's her wish coming true. I put her on camera. Yep. Well deserved break time. Because when the cat wants attention, you give her attention. This is Chloe. She's very precious. Alright, let's get back to work. This is the head. Unfortunately, I do not have good footage of me sculpting the head. It took numerous tries. I think I restarted probably 5 or 6 times, maybe more, I don't know. But each time, unfortunately, my head was in the way of the recording of getting this head. And it was hard. It was really tough. But I did manage to save footage of attaching the ears. As long as the camera doesn't focus on the ball of clay, which is apparently more fascinating than me attaching the ears. But, I mean, for a first face, it's not looking too bad. I was mostly satisfied with this. And I think I put the ears in the right place. I think so. Because, I mean, he's not an adult. He's not really a kid. He's a bit of a teenager. See, the camera focuses on that ball. Oh well, but I think it turned out pretty decent. So we're gonna pop all of that into the oven for 25 minutes, and now let's speed paint. I just did basic paint coverage. I did 2 layers mostly. Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use a primer or not. Like, I wasn't too sure, but when these colors dried, they actually looked really good, and I thought that they really matched to what Aang usually wears in the cartoon. So I was very happy. Though his skin color did take a few mixing tries. But this was fun. The painting was fun, but the painting did take a really, really long time. I kid you not, because you gotta wait for 24 hours for it to dry, and then new layer and all that stuff. Like, whew. It took a week. It did. Just wait. Where did my sculpture go? Artemis, did you eat my sculpture? Artemis, come back. No, where's Aang? Did he run away again? Like, he just hid for 100 years, and then he defeated the Fire Lord. We still need him. Artemis, I have questions. You have answers. Oh, there he is. And I present to you Aang, the last Airbender. Let me know what you think. Good, bad, I don't know. His tattoos are a bit darker because that paint glows under black light. And once I figure out how to correctly film neon colors under black light, I will show that. But for now, enjoy the finished product, and I will see you next time. Hopefully not in like 4 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.